Unit Vocabulary 1. Exercise 2.
Send postcards. Meet people. Get on a train. Have adventures. Plan a journey. Set off. Get off a coach. Pack a suitcase. Buy souvenirs. Come back home. Arrive. Buy a guidebook.
Unit Vocabulary 1. Exercise 4.
I like your T-shirt, Dan. Where did you get it?
I bought it in Rome. It was a souvenir.
A souvenir T-shirt. What a good idea.
I buy a T-shirt in every place I visit. Have you ever bought any souvenirs?
Yes, I have. I bought this baseball hat in New York. It's a typical American souvenir.
Units Reading 1. The World on Wheels. Exercise 7.
The World on Wheels. Albert Casals is a typical teenager in many ways. He likes reading science fiction books, he enjoys playing Dragon Ball, and he's interested in science. But in other ways, Albert is very different. He has visited more than 26 countries alone. He's got blue hair, and he has written a book, The World on Wheels. And one more thing makes him different. Albert has been in a wheelchair since he was 8 years old. Albert is 18, and he lives in the town of Esparreguera, Barcelona. He became ill with leukemia when he was 5, but the disease hasn't stopped him having fun. Albert has travelled around Europe, and in 2007 he set off for South America. He always travels on his own. He often hitchhikes, and he never takes much money. In fact, Albert took 20 euros with him to South America and came back 6 months later with the same amount. He gets money by working and doing tricks with his wheelchair. Albert has had lots of adventures. He has slept on boats and desert islands. He has learned how to repair his wheelchair himself. He has taught himself how to get on and get off buses and trains without help. Albert wants to encourage more people in wheelchairs to copy him. The chair helps you to travel because it eliminates fear, Albert explains. When you hitchhike, drivers pick you up because you are not considered dangerous. And another advantage is that people talk to me because they want to meet a blue-haired boy who travels the world alone in a chair. And so I make new friends who help me. He says that he has learned that the world is mostly full of kind, friendly people who want to help him, not harm him. So, what's next for Albert? University and more travel. He hasn't been to Africa, so that could be his next journey. And his next book, of course.
Unit Pronunciation. Exercise A.
Learned, heard, world, work, eaten, seen, been, wheel, drunk, encourage. Country. Love.
Units Pronunciation. Exercise B.
The world on wheels. I've drunk green tea. She learned German at school.
Units Listening. Dream holidays. Exercise 10.
Have you ever wanted to see the pyramids? Visit the Parthenon? Go to Venice? Would you like to go to all 3 places in just one holiday? Of course you would. Come on a Mediterranean cruise with Blue Line Cruises and we'll take you to Egypt, Greece, Italy, Israel, Malta and Croatia in 10 days. That's right, 6 countries in only 10 days. And you'll travel in style. For more information, visit our website www.bluecruise.com or phone free of charge on 9087 655401. Come cruising this summer. It's a journey you'll never forget.
Shall I go to Russia or shall I go to China? Oh, I can't choose.
Why can't it be both? Yes, let the Trans-Mongolian Railway take you from Moscow to Beijing. Our trains take you through Russia. You can visit beautiful Siberia and Lake Baikal, the biggest lake in the world. Then we go south through Mongolia, the Gobi Desert, and finally China. On the trains, you can meet people and take photographs of the beautiful countryside. So take the train, not the plane, and have an adventure this summer. The Trans-Mongolian Railway. It's the journey of a lifetime. For tickets, visit www.waytorussia.net.
Want to travel but don't know what to do with the kids? Take them with you. This year, let the whole family have an adventure with a Manuki family adventure holiday in India. We travel by private car and jeep, so you get to see the real India. And India has everything for families. Camel rides, tiger safaris, the Taj Mahal. We make your journey easy. We organise everything. Your meals, your transport and your hotels, including 2 nights in a Maharaja's palace. Go to www.manuki.com for prices and reservations. Have a family adventure with Manuki and let us show you around India.
Units Speaking. Exercise 2.
The 14:35 train to Oxford is now at platform 13. The 14:30 from Edinburgh has just arrived at platform 12.
Hi, Megan. Welcome home.
Hi, Rita. Thanks for coming to meet me. It's really nice of you.
No problem. So, shall we get the bus home?
OK, let's go.
Units Speaking. Exercise 3.
So how was the journey?
Oh, it was terrible. The train left 30 minutes late.
Oh no. But did you get a good seat?
No, I didn't. There were no free seats. I had to stand.
What? Did you change trains at Birmingham?
Yes, I did. I got a seat from Birmingham to London.
Did you have anything to eat?
No, the bar was closed.
Oh no, how terrible.
Yes, it was awful.
Unit Culture. Famous Journeys. Exercise 7. The California Gold Rush.
The California Gold Rush started on the 24th of January 1848, when James W. Marshall discovered gold at Sutter's Mill in California. Soon, people in San Francisco heard stories about gold. In December 1848, James Polk, the President of the USA, told the world that there was gold in California. The gold rush began.
California in 1848.
When Marshall found the gold, California was very different from today. It wasn't an American state. It was a wild place and very difficult to travel to. San Francisco was just a small village. The land belonged to the Native Americans.
The 49ers.
The early gold seekers were called 49ers because they started their journey to California in 1849. About 300,000 people travelled there between 1848 and 1855. About half came by ship from abroad, and the other 150,000 walked to California, a journey of 2,400 kilometres across the USA.
Effects of the Gold Rush.
The gold rush changed California. The population of San Francisco grew from 1,000 in 1848 to 150,000 in 1870. People came from all over the world to live there. A railway line was built to join California to the rest of the USA. But not all the changes were good. The Native Americans lost their lands, and many died from diseases like influenza, which the Europeans brought with them.
Unit Vocabulary 2. Exercise 2.
Terrifying. Frightening. Amazing. Good. Enormous. Big. Exhausted. Tired. Delighted. Happy. Tiny. Small. Awful. Bad. Freezing. Cold. Boiling. Hot.
Units Reading 2. Solo Sailor. Exercise 6.
Solo Sailor. Mike Perham didn't have much time to celebrate his 17th birthday. Not because he had exams or was working, but because he was in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Mike has just become the youngest person to sail around the world solo. His amazing journey took him 9 months, and he sailed over 30,000 miles on his 50-foot yacht called TotallyMoney.com. Mike had a lot of adventures on his trip. Sailing conditions in the Indian Ocean were brilliant, but he had to sail through enormous 50-foot waves in the South Pacific after leaving New Zealand. He didn't have many problems with his boat. However, he had to stop in the Canary Islands, Portugal, and Cape Town to repair his autopilot, the machine that sailed the boat while Mike slept. Fortunately, he didn't meet any whales or sharks. Mike returned home to the UK exhausted, but ecstatic to be a world record holder. What was the first thing he wanted? Some steak and chips. Mike didn't have any fresh food on the boat, so he didn't eat a lot of fruit or vegetables while he was sailing. What an amazing and terrifying journey.
Unit Writing. Exercise 1.
Hi, Nick. Well, we've arrived. At last. What a journey. It was a nightmare. The plane left London on time. The food was okay, and the in-flight movies were excellent. I watched Spider-Man 4. Have you seen it? It's great. But when we were only 30 minutes from New York, there was a disaster. We couldn't land because of bad weather. First, we had to fly to Washington, D.C. Then we had to wait for 3.5 hours to get off the plane. Then we waited for an hour in the queue at the immigration desk. Next, we queued for another 2 hours for a hotel. After that, we waited 45 minutes for the shuttle bus to the hotel. We finally arrived at the hotel at midnight, 8 hours after landing. And the restaurant was closed, so there was no food. We're going to New York this morning, I hope. I'll send you an email when we get there. Kate.
Units CLIL. Science. The solar system.
The term solar system refers to the sun and all the objects that travel around it. Experts believe that the solar system formed about 4.6 billion years ago. The sun is at the centre of the solar system. The sun isn't a planet, it is a star. The rest of the solar system consists of planets, moons, dwarf planets, asteroids, comets, space rocks, and dust. The sun contains an incredible 99.8% of all the material in the solar system. It has a powerful gravitational force. That means that everything in the solar system travels round or orbits the sun. It takes approximately 365 days or one year for Earth to orbit the sun once. While Earth is orbiting the sun, it is also turning on its axis. One complete rotation takes 24 hours, or 1 day. Earth's axis isn't straight. It is at an angle of 23.5 degrees. As a result, different parts of Earth receive different amounts of sunlight during the year. This creates the 4 seasons.
Revision. Sketch. Exercise 1.
What are you reading?
It's a holiday brochure about Ireland.
Have you ever been there?
No, but I'd like to.
Oh, I've been there. It's amazing.
It is a nice place, but it's so cold. It's the coldest place I've ever been, in fact. Look.
Canada's colder than Ireland. It's freezing.
What? Have you been to Canada?
Yes. My brother's lived there for 3 years.
Really? So when did you go?
2 years ago. I went for Christmas.
Lucky you. I'd love to go to Canada.
Well, we've been to America. It's the most amazing country in the world.
America? The Caribbean's better than America.
You haven't been to the Caribbean?
Yes, I have. My brother lives there.
But your brother lives in Toronto.
Yeah. How many brothers have you got?
2. Tim lives in Toronto and Mike lives in Kingston, Jamaica.
So, have you been there?
Yeah, I went last Christmas. It's the coolest place on earth.
What about New Zealand? Jamaica's not as cool as New Zealand.
Yes, it is. It's much cooler.
No, it isn't. New Zealand is incredible.
Have you been to New Zealand, Chris?
No, but he's watched The Lord of the Rings about 20 times. It was made in New Zealand.
Very cool, Chris.
Yeah, very funny. So, what's the most interesting place you've been to, Kate?
Ask me again in September.
Why?
Because I'm going to Russia in August. I'm really excited.
Nice one, Kate.